All right. If you're still in your comfortable area, put your pants back on. Change
Ugh,
whatever your worst pants are, because I've been sticking to the ape Vrill thing. Going
Nice.
down a Vrill hole, Roger can tell you this is barely enjoyable. Uh, so here's another segment in the Vrill world, and we'll get through as much of this as we can before
The
our eyes
Vrill
bleed.
cycle.
Yeah. This is from Mazzastick.com, a long
Uh-huh.
article all about the Saturn Moon Matrix.
What the fuck is that?
yeah, what?
We're going to get there.
Explain yourself.
Okay. It asks, is Saturn transmitting a frequency to Earth via the moon and
Obviously.
creating a manipulated virtual reality? Author David Icke explores the Saturn Moon
Yeah.
connection. Okay, so it opens up with a little David Icke in there. Says, this post is taken from David Icke's book, Remember Who You Are, Remember Where You Are, and Where You Came From. Remember. It talks about the connection between the planet Saturn and the Earth's moon and their ability to create a fake virtual reality on Earth, which is the Saturn Moon Matrix. Uh,
What the fuck? Like, oh, as in the Matrix?
yeah, but also as in like an informational space.
Got it.
This person goes on to say, what I'm presenting here is information. That's all. Do with it what you like. If any information you read anywhere, be sure to keep an open mind. Use your inner wisdom to feel if something's right for you. Take everything you read, watch, or hear with a pinch of salt until you've gathered more information and come to your own conclusion.
Wow.
Next sentence. Do not let anyone do your thinking for you! Exclamation points.
Okay. Fair enough. Sounds like a white guy on Reddit who's about to say something racist, but okay.
Well, he's already talking about David Icke, so
That's true.
you know you're racist adjacent no matter what.
A racist? I don't know. Or something.
Yeah, so the questions in this post, he labels them. One, is Saturn transmitting a frequency to Earth, creating the Saturn Moon Matrix evolutions? Two, is the moon part of it? Three, can we do anything about it? And four, who's really controlling things on planet Earth and beyond?
Do anything about it.
That's my favorite part is in every alien documentary I see, there's that segment where like, what can we even do? Well,
Yeah.
I guess nothing. I'm not gonna worry
Nothing.
anymore.
Yeah, nothing. The answer's nothing.
Go
Blow
to
up
the
the
desert.
moon, I guess.
Go to the desert, drink our pee. I don't know what to do, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the things that he wants to make sure you have in your head before he jumps into this next very first sentence of the meat of this entire article.
Okay.
The Reptilian Alliance's modus operandi is to first trigger cataclysmic events on a target world or solar system and wipe away the society that was there before.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly interested.
Then reptilians genetically engineer a new species that's designed to be tuned to their false reality, their, quote, matrix, and the planet is hijacked along with the perception of the people. They have done precisely this to Earth and humanity, and the means of doing so are Saturn and the Moon. Saturn, the, quote, Lord of the Rings, is the master control center.
No, first of all, I'm calling Saturn the Lord of the Rings from now on until the end of my life.
I've been calling it that. I call it.
Nice. Early adapter. Love it.
Yeah. It says, I mean, look at Saturn with all its rings. Saturn's a ginormous broadcasting system, and they'll eventually find that the rings are full of crystals rather than ice, a type of crystal that we aren't familiar with on Earth. The rings are not natural, and at one time, Saturn was a conventional brown dwarf. It had no rings. The technology-obsessed Reptilian Alliance has constructed them. Funnily enough, as I think about it, an insider once told me of a photograph he'd seen of an incredibly large spacecraft that appeared to be repairing one of Saturn's rings. The process is ongoing, and they're continuing to construct others. In 2009, NASA announced that its Spitzer Space Telescope had discovered another ring circling Saturn from a distance of some 3.7 million miles and going out to 7.4 million. It's so
Yes.
big it could take 1 billion Earths to fill it. Some scientists say that the debris created Saturn's rings from a disintegrated moon. But how could that form a ring 3.7 million miles away from Saturn that could hold 1 billion Earths? Saturn's. Duh. Saturn's broadcasting system extends throughout the solar system, but most of it's not visible or not on visible frequencies. The next section is titled Saturn is the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And how did J.R.R. Tolkien and film director Peter Jackson symbolize the controlling force in the book and film of that name? As a fiery reptilian eye, the Eye of Sauron.
Okay, all right. Somebody. I think this person's been on the internet too long.
Listen, sir, there's more than just conspiracies on the internet. Go
This
look at some
guy
porn. Go
is
switch it up, man.
Seeing the code.
I think the porn can partially be part of the conspiracy. I mean, the entire internet could be.
I mean, if we're talking Vrill, yes, porn very much is part of the conspiracy. If you watch it and lose your energy, as they would
First of
say,
all,
it is all
it's
part
true.
of the conspiracy to keep you weak.
First of all, it would be conspiracy. Second of all, there's definitely one of those out there for sure. There's definitely a number of Vrill porns.
Saturn is the second biggest planet. For some reason, that's also in quotes in the solar system. After Jupiter, and it's the sixth planet from the sun. Its rings and moons make it unique. Saturn is called a gas giant, as with Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. Still, it is habitable by very different entities to humans, much closer to its material center. And as with everything, it exists on other ranges of frequency.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
don't think- I
habitable
guess-
by something that can live on it. It's
I mean,
basically
I
what they're
guess
saying.
like it exists in the infrared. Okay.
But so do I.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
not-
as crazy. As
Yeah, they're
sounded.
not more special than me.
I thought they were trying to be like, and we've proven that Saturn exists in 4 dimensions.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of what they're saying.
I
At least
guess
that it
so. I know.
broadcasts. It broadcasts its fictional, illusory existence to idiots like us using our reptile minds
Morons.
through the moon. We'll get around to that.
Crumbs.
Mainstream science says that Saturn radiates 2.5 times more energy than it receives from the sun, and it generates an unexplainable, constantly spinning, 6-sided hexagonal wave pattern at its north pole, which rotates in sync with Saturn's recorded radio emissions.
I'm constantly saying that.
Yeah,
You are,
you
man.
hear
I
it
have
every
it
day.
documented on this show.
A massive, constantly spinning storm system captured at the South Pole also looks like an eye. Jupiter and Neptune also generate more heat than they receive. Saturn takes more than 29 Earth years to complete a journey around the sun. The planet, or dark sun, has been known about since prehistoric times because it can be seen from Earth, but it was only after the development of strong enough telescopes that the rings were able to be seen. We know that. Babylonian astronomers recorded the movements of Saturn, and the Romans worshipped it as the god Saturn, to the Greeks Cronus or Kronos. There's no coincidence whatsoever in Saturn having so many moons. More than 60 have been discovered so far.
That's true.
I don't know why it would be not a coincidence that it has moons because it once worshipped.
I mean, I've never looked at Saturn and been like, a whole bunch of moons? Coincidence?
They comprise, with the Saturn dwarf, a mini solar system, and the same with Jupiter, and it's at least 63 moons. Most of Saturn's moons derive their names from god Saturn's brothers and sisters, the Titans and the Titanesses. Or just the Titans. You don't have to gender.
Yeah, I don't think a Titaness is a thing.
Yeah, the Titans aren't gendered.
Yeah, that's like when they made those pens for women. Like it's okay. We can all use the same pen.
Yeah, Pence is fine, yeah.
Yeah,
small-
that's like calling women humanesses. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Small Saturnian moons discovered more recently have been named after Inuit, Gallic, and Norse gods and goddesses. None of this is by chance, and all are different names for the same deities in different cultures. Saturn's biggest moon, Titan, is the second largest in the solar system behind the Jupiter moon Ganymede, which is twice as big as our moon. Titan, Ganymede, and other major Jupiter moons, Io, Europa, which it calls the European Union goddess. Europa predates the European Union by a lot.
Yeah, what?
That's what you think. The conspiracy goes deep.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Conspiracy has no time. And Callisto are planets, though they are known as moons. Titan, Ganymede, and others also play a very active role in the Saturn Moon Matrix, and I'm sure we'll see the purpose of Jupiter and all this eventually. Will we? Even mainstream scientists have suggested that some form of life could exist on Titan and other Saturn moon Enceladus.
Wow.
Saturn's communicating with the major moons, planets, and many not so major ones in our solar system. I suggest that Earth's moon was once in that group around Saturn, and at least many of them are the same. They are computer systems, amplifiers, and satellites of the Saturn broadcasting grid, and they go out as necessary to target other worlds. Saturn is not their only hijacked and converted brown dwarf either. They are experts at this.
I'm very intrigued.
I have no reason to disbelieve any of this.
Yes.
Saturn was often symbolized as an eye by the ancients, and that is a likely origin of the all-seeing eye, one of the major symbols of the reptilian hybrid bloodline network.
Yep.
I, David Icke, went to the subway station right next to Ground Zero when I spoke in New York in 2010. So some of this is directly lifted from David Icke's books. The station has mosaic eyes on the walls along the platforms and a giant depiction on the floor of an eye broadcasting frequency across the planet. The eye is almost certainly meant to be Saturn or Satan. Whoa. The image perfectly portrays what Saturn is doing. Saturn hacks into the waveform information broadcast from the center of the galaxy via the sun and transmits a fake reality into the solar system. The moon amplifies this and beams it specifically at the Earth. The bizarre synchronicities between Earth, the moon, and the sun in size, geometry, and position are all made possible by the moon. These synchronicities are now connected to how Saturn and the moon hack the sun's information. So they're literally hacking the planets. The moon is where it is because it was explicitly placed there. Visible light in the electromagnetic spectrum that science can record is the matrix, the false reality. And God said, let there be light. The speed of light, which we are told is the fastest speed possible, 186,000 miles per second. Rubbish. It says.
Okay.
Is the vibration.
Shot fired over the bow of God's boat, I guess.
Is the vibrational wall of the matrix. We are not even living on the Earth as it is. Some of it is original, but many holographic implants change it for our perception. What? The matrix broadcasts block humans from perceiving what we otherwise would be experiencing. The Earth that we can't see or feel too often is a place of love and harmony, not war, fear, and suffering. Oh. The predators dictate our lives and make us into slaves to them.
Predator?
Oh, this is straight up craziness. I love Vrill. I mean, not some of the things, but like, there's some great parts of the Vrill, and this is one of them.
Yeah. The moon is one of Saturn's amps.
And it produces love.
When they say predators, they're talking about like Vrill, creature, lizard boys.
Yes, I talked about them in one of my deep dives, and then I got too vrilled for a moment.
Yeah.
But some of us are parasited. Yeah. I don't think any of us three are.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I lay eggs.
We're just tip vrilled.
All right, just the tip.
Yep.
Sure.
The predators dictate our lives and make us into slaves to them by hijacking our sense of reality. The moon matrix from Saturn transformed once vibrant, conscious humanity into computer programs decoding cycles of repetitive perception and behavior. The transmissions of the Saturn Moon Matrix are received and retransmitted by the Earth's crystal core, which has been tuned to the matrix frequency range, and the hack connects with us through the reptilian brain and the receiver transmitter system that we call DNA.
Oh. Fuck me running. Is that what happened?
That's what's happening.
That's crazy.
This This brings us back to junk DNA and what Professor Sam Chang from the Human Genome Project said earlier.
Hit us with
This
it.
is clearly relating to something from a different article.
I would just like everybody to know that I'm currently playing the role of guy sitting in a bar next to this asshole. No fooling.
Oh, really? All
No
right.
shit. Is that what happened? Those fucking assholes.
Continue.
Which brings us back to junk DNA.
And what Professor Sam Chang from the Human Genome Project said earlier, that the overwhelming majority of human DNA is of off-world origin, and the extraterrestrial junk genes merely enjoy the ride with hard-working active genes passed through the generations.
Well, that's lousy. I'm against it.
Here's a quote from Professor Chang.
I think you and me should get an apartment, fella. Sort this out.
What we see in our DNA is a program consisting of two versions, a big code and basic code.
Okay.
First fact is the complete program was positively not written on Earth. That is now a verified fact.
What?
Second, this is a professor from the Human Genome Project, presumably.
All right. Fuck.
The second fact is that genes by themselves are not enough to explain evolution. There must be something more in the game. Sooner or later, we have to come to grips with the unbelievable notion that every life on Earth carries genetic code for his extraterrestrial cousin, and that evolution is not what we think it is. Our hypothesis is that a higher extraterrestrial life form was engaged in creating new life and planting it on various planets. Earth is just one of them. Perhaps after programming, our creators grow us the same way we grow bacteria in petri dishes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
We can't know their motives, whether it was a scientific experiment or a way of preparing new planets for colonization, or the long-time ongoing business of seeding life in the universe.
What? I mean, how would they make money off of
Completely
this?
insane. Well, yeah, that's the thing. These aliens aren't using capitalism.
Well, you got. Step 1 is the psychic control. Step 3 is profit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Step 2, question mark.
Question mark.
Yeah, they must. I mean, if we are, as Alien Ant Farm so eloquently put it, an alien ant farm.
Yes.
Yes.
What are they getting out of it? Is it when they beam us up and take our sperm and our eggs? Is it organs? Is it DNA? Do they need why would the
That's a very good question.
why would the is my question.
It's very geocentric, Earth-centric
Yeah.
to think that like we have something all the aliens need.
Well, but it's also
it's not though, because what they're saying is that the moon was taken away from Saturn, where they have their main base for the programming, and put next to Earth because Earth had the ability to carry the life that they want to petri dish, and then use.
But
the moon to
why would are we
with
just
us.
a science experiment? Are they just
Yeah.
Sim
dude.
City, man. How many games of
SimCity,
Sim
baby.
City have you actually
I've
ended
played-
without just destroying it?
Okay, that's fair. I built glorious cities to man and nature, and then just sent. Let's see what happens when Bowser gets in here. By the way, I still play on the Super NES.
Yeah, we're
That's the way to go.
we're entering the 5th cycle, man.
I'm excited for the future. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's a weird little aside in this next paragraph, kind of. Professor Chang also noted that the alien parts of junk DNA have their veins, arteries, and immune systems that vigorously resists all our anti-cancer drugs. So one thing is that the cancer is potentially created by the aliens.
Dick move, aliens.
Yeah, don't do that.
The DNA implanted by the extraterrestrials is pre-programmed, and one effect of the Saturn Moon Matrix is to activate those programs to play out as spontaneous human behavior and a sequence of, quote, time, unquote. The Matrix acts like a laser reading computer software or a DVD. It brings the pre-programmed information in human DNA onto the screen, our decoded reality. The software program is running in every human mind, body, computer, and it has been encoded for eons. Remember how Rebecca Cann, assistant professor of genetics at the University of Hawaii, co-authored a study in the journal Nature saying that all modern humans are descended from a single mother who lived in Africa about 200,000 BC?
I remember the game Mitochondria Eve, if that's what you're asking.
Parasite Eve was great.
Oh, damn it. That's right. Parasite Eve. God
Yeah,
damn it.
you're thinking of the sequel.
You were doing the right thing.
I was thinking of the actual name of the person we're all descended from. My bad.
Yeah. You were harnessing the original power of mitochondrial.
She spoke through me to get her name correct.
Exactly.
If what we call humans originated from a single source, the program could easily have been implanted that would infiltrate every subsequent member of the species software. Only by becoming conscious beyond mind body can we override the program. It's become so clear to me while writing this book that the extent of human behavior programming is fundamental. I understand from people who read papers by molecular biologist Francis Crick that he believed that DNA was pre-programmed. You will often hear it said that Crick and his associates, quote, discovered DNA. What became known as deoxyribonucleic acid was first discovered by Johann Friedrich Miescher in 1869.
Okay.
Then a quote from something about that guy or from that guy. Crick, James Watson, and Maurice Wilkins were given the Nobel Prize for Physiology of Medicine in 1962 for their discoveries concerning the molecular structure of nucleic acids and its significance for information transfer in living material. What a pointless thing to tell us. We already know that. Crick appears to have known far more about DNA that was made public, and he believed that it was made of extraterrestrial origin. So the matrix illusion is so deep, so ingrained, because it is not only a matrix field, but a DNA program.
Hachi Machi.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
is what you're saying is that we are going to become something new soon?
I guess well, you already are the thing that they want you to be, because you can't fight the DNA programming with that, unless, of course, you open your mind and become fully body mind conscious and realize that you're a computer program that the moon is sending information to via Saturn.
Well, I mean, we've all suspected it all along.
Yeah. Saturn Moon equals Queen Bee.
Just leave it there. Saturn Moon equals Queen Bee.
Saturn Moon equals Queen Bee, and then all the other moons are like little amps, like you said, transmitting. Well, then what are all the other moons for? Why are there all these moons on Jupiter? There's people on Jupiter.
So the Queen Bee broadcasts the waveform information hack, and humans decode this into a world that they think they see and perceptions, behaviors they believe are them. We can't be controlled entirely by the Matrix and be no more than human. We can be controlled entirely by the Matrix and be no more than human robots responding to the data input, or we can open our hearts and minds and see beyond what others can see.
There it is. I knew he was selling something.
You're selling a good feeling in time.
He's selling ayahuasca. This means opening our minds to consciousness, which is not subject to the manipulation of the Matrix or the DNA program. It operates outside of space and time and beyond the vibrational walls of the Matrix. If you look at all the incredible and endless interconnected manipulations that I will describe in this book, and there are so many more, this clearly could not have been organized by people sitting around a table deciding their next move. I have often pondered this. How do they do it? Was there a computer system spewing out data on what to do and when? But I can see it now. Those in authority who run and enforce the human control system are following a program in the same way as worker ants and bees follow the program broadcast by the Queen. They are computer terminals on the Matrix internet with the Saturn Moon Matrix triggering their already programmed DNA to respond according to the program. The bloodlines, Illuminati, Dark Cabal, those appointed to positions of power, are the most locked in because they were genetically created for that purpose. But anyone who's not genuinely conscious, which is most of the humanity, will be responding to their DNA Saturn Moon Matrix program, which drives their thoughts, perceptions, and behavior.
The Vrill is so much to take in.
It's insane. It is insane.
It's one of the deepest dives we've ever tried to attempt, and I'm brave of us for doing this.
But it's like this is like mental illness, right? Somebody's sitting around putting this all together based on shit that they've seen on the internet, and like I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like,
well, this is David Icke. He's been saying this.
Yeah,
shit.
this is
like he
Based on what,
predates
then?
the
Just
internet.
shit that he's fucking...
We
What,
understand
books
it
that
to
he's
be.
read?
I mean,
Yeah.
Shit that he's putting together? He's cooking up?
he
Just making
uses
it up?
himself as a reference, you know? It's the things he's seen, it's the people he's spoke to that have given him these insights into the reptilian Vrill Royal Academies.
Well,
Yeah, it's
my man...
anecdotal lizard kings.
Is he dead?
No, man.
No, he's very much alive.
Do you want to know what he's up to now? You should get a subscription to Gaia TV.
Well, I hope he's
I
going...
mean, you shouldn't. They're a
I hope
cult,
he's going to a
but-
therapist
Gaia TV is
regularly.
hilarious.
That's what I hope.
He is, but the therapist is, of course, the Saturn Moon Matrix.
Right,
And he's
yeah.
just staring through it,
Sure.
seeing the truth.
Seeing the truth the whole time as they're trying to talk to them. Are you here with me, David? Yeah, I'm here. Why are you saying it like that? No, I'm here. I'm paying attention. Because you sound like you're not, David. No, I believe all of this.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Truth vibrations.
Ooh.
The control system is terrified of the truth vibrations for this reason, which we jumped ahead of because it's boring. And this is why it is now throwing everything that it can at humanity to keep us entrapped within a vibrational box through fear, chaos, and upheaval. By the way, some unexplainable and paranormal experiences happen when there's a glitch in the Matrix information field.
Okay, that's right from the movie.
Yep. As I write, there are many reports from around the world that the heavens have changed. The constellations are not where they should be, and that the moon has changed its angle. This is the result of the reptilians manipulating the Matrix to confuse us and prepare us for the fake end of the world or New World prophecies by the Bible, the Mayan calendar, Hopi prophecies, and all the rest. They're not true. They are part of the manipulation, and the reptilians plan to make it seem as if they are happening by manufacturing events. They are already doing so. It was all planned a long time, in quotes, ago.
Time is just an illusion. Get it? It's a callback.
I can't find any articles about the stars being in new places.
No,
that's
and you probably won't. There
When
was
I
that
do
one
go-
brief period where we had a 13th zodiac sign.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Well, here's the
man.
thing. You're looking at the website.
I'm looking
that's
at the
on
normal
internet,
web. Yes.
That's presented to you by
you're
the
on
Saturn
the internet of
Moon
lies,
Matrix.
not the internet of truth.
You're not seeing the truth. You can't see through the truth. You can't see through the lies.
I don't have that onion browser. I don't have the proper browser. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Exactly. You need a Chrome plugin to see the truth. That's Buck Wild, and I respect you for going so deep, and I'm glad that you came out.
It's scary every time you go in there. You have 2 more episodes. Are you gonna be okay?
Oh, this will be fine. We'll find out together. You'll
His eyes just
see on
start to
the
glow green.
you'll see on the news how this turns out.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna read this last section. It's kind of short.
Please.
So, one of the main ways the Matrix connects with us, not surprisingly, is through the reptilian brain, and this helps to lock us into the Reptilian Alliance control system. The Matrix transmissions are also aimed at our DNA receiver transmitter systems, and much of this is happening within the realms of what science calls junk DNA. Some of this has been switched off to narrow our band of experienced reality, and some are picking up the Matrix frequencies by carrier waves from Saturn via the moon. The Saturn Moon Matrix is how they have done it. Humans tuned most powerfully to the Matrix transmission, the overwhelming majority, are like worker ants following the work plan broadcast by the Queen. Ants are said to
They're not
communicate-
wrong. I mean, that is modern capitalist life.
Ants are said to communicate through chemicals called pheromones, but they are only the chemical expression of vibrational communications. Ants tune it through their antennae, and we pick up the Matrix broadcast through DNA and the reptilian brain. The reptilians have a hive mind communication system which the Matrix connects with, and it would appear that at the center of this is their version of the female queen. Maybe the worship of the goddess is something to do with this, and certainly the hybrid bloodline is passed on through the mitochondrial or female DNA. The Illuminati reptilian hybrid bloodlines are the agents of the Matrix within the Matrix. The Agent Smiths, if you like, portrayed in the Matrix movie series.
Okay. I knew they were real. I knew the whole time. when we were watching The Matrix, I told you, Jordan, I said, this
Yeah.
Smith gentleman,
Yeah.
he's a real man. I know him.
Yeah. They I suspect that all along they were hoping that this would turn into a Matrix allegory. This is just the David Icke just really liked the Matrix is what's happening
It
here.
spoke to him 100%.
He wants to talk to somebody about it.
Well, I guess he needed to justify his enjoyment of something by being like, well, actually, the way it's talking to me is through my reptile brain via the Saturn Moon Matrix, and that's the only way that you can actually know that you're enjoying something is if you're programmed to do so. The goddess queen.
Yeah.
It sounds like a man.
Reptile Alliance.
And it sounds like a man, and once again, I see this a lot in like those conservative conspiracy circles to where like they're very creative people and they've written a script and his just happens to be Matrix fan fiction.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he is heavily promoting this.
Yeah.
It's Trinity / reptile.
Hot. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Guys, I think that does it for this episode of Werewolf Radar.
I think so.
We are gonna go ahead and take a little break to think about, reality as we know it, and to spot and accuse Vrill in our neighborhoods. And I assume you'll do the same. Now know that anyone that you accuse of being a Vrill, if they actually are a reptile person, they will immediately burst into their true form and run away through nearby sewer grate. So if you shout at someone and they don't do that, you've just made a bit of a dummy of yourself.
But if they do,
then you're an American hero. So I mean, I guess the cost, is it worth it to you?
Cost risk ratio, I say
exactly.
Do it.
Exactly.
Paranormal
I say don't.
Preparedness, I say take the risk. Do it.
I say
if David Icke isn't afraid to look like a crazy person every time he opens his mouth, you shouldn't be either.
I think there are easier ways to find out if someone's a lizard. You throw a party. Okay? At that afternoon, you make 2 cheese logs. One of them you roll in delicious almond slivers. The other you roll in flies. And you put them out at your party. And if anybody eats the fly one, you write their name down. And then at the end of the day, you have a list of people who are probably, I'm not going to say 100%, but pretty good chance they're lizard people. They ate that fly cheese. They ate the fly cheese. And
now it's time for you to name names to the House Un-American.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to yet another episode of Werewolf Radar. How many was it this time, Raj? You said the number.
Oh, this is episode 149. Sooner or later,
episodes.
And we got a Twitch viewer, Brett at Dark Wolf. Check them out. What are we gonna do about these werewolves? Sooner or later, we're gonna have to answer this question.
Well, I mean, we've already allied with the werewolves long ago, so our stance is unchanged. They protect the frontier, we protect the world of men. So werewolves are in fact the true children of Gaia. They are in the frontier fighting the worm and trying to rid the world of the corruption of the Weaver, who went mad.
I like it. I like it, Jordan. That's not a bad description. When I write the description for the episode, that's what's going to be said.
That'll be it.
Well, that'll get us sued because that's right out of White Wolf. That's from World of Darkness.
Well, you know what?
Werewolf the Apocalypse. Might be, but we should play sometime.
We're them now.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to our Dark Council members. Thank you to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for the rocking, sweet intro and outro song. Yes. And of course, thank you to you, the listener, for going to iTunes, clicking 5 stars, and telling them how we spooked your pants all around. Type that in. They spooked our pants all around.
Yep, let's get some reviews up there.
Mm-hmm. And until next time, as always.
Can I throw something out there really quick?
Yes.
Just a little preview of if we go on with these Vrill segments, the recommended read next at the bottom of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is the moon a Death Star?
Okay, until next time.
Check out our Patreon and everything.
Vrill.
Suspect the Vrill. No, that's not it.
Wait.
Punch the moon. Space Scout. No, boy.
Oh, God. Oh, they got to me.
Oh, we got us.